It was early one morning and Miss Jenny had just arrived with Madge to the honey factory. They'd been called down by the beekeeper to check on the machine. "We're here," said Miss Jenny. "Oh, thanks for coming with such short notice. The machine's been playing up. Watch," said the beekeeper. As he hit the machine, the sodor honey machine roared into action, but the jar of honey didn't land in Ryan's trucks. It hit it, rolled over the eggs, and cracked open onto the rails, leaving sticky honey under the water tower. "And this is the bees are producing so much honey that I can't afford to lose it." "I'll have a look over it," said Miss Jenny. "But firstly, we better get that honey moved." But before Miss Jenny could finish, James came flying down the line. He crashed head-on with the honey barrel and got sticky honey all over him. "I can't see," cried James as he raced down to Brandon Docks. "Well, can you fix the machine now? It's urgent." "I can see what I can do, but without any tools or equipment, I can't do that much," said Miss Jenny. She walked in and pressed another button. The machine whirred into action, but this tanker didn't work either. It landed in the jar, but then rolled out. Honey spilt over the rails yet again. "Yep, I'm going to need to get my toolbox. You won't be able to use the honey factory till tomorrow, but I promise I'll be back first thing in the morning," said Miss Jenny, as she stepped back into Madge. As Miss Jenny drove away, the beekeeper groaned. "Right, well, it looks like we can't do our work today," said Ryan. "I'll deliver the eggs because they're still fresh, and I'll come back tomorrow," said Ryan, as he turned round at the crossing to pick up the eggs. "No, we can still work with the honey. We just need to fix the machine. I can't wait another day until my machine's ready." "Well, you do that," said Ryan, "but I'm not helping," as he reached out of the honey factory, leaving George and the beekeeper alone to try and figure out the machine. Later that day, Ryan had arrived with the unbroken eggs at Knapford Station. Hero was resting in the yard. "Oh, konnichiwa, Ryan. How's it going?" "Not very well. The honey factory's been closed down for the day as the machine's faulty, although the beekeeper doesn't want to stop working, because apparently it's the best load of honey that bees have produced in years," mocked Ryan. Just then, the engines heard a loud siren as Belle wheezed through. "Belle, where are you going?" said Ryan. "There's been an accident at the honey factory. A swarm of bees is starting to fly around the station," cried Belle as she raced away. "Oh my, we better follow her," said Hero. "Come on." So Hero and Ryan quickly followed after them. Belle raced in and gasped. More honey jars had been spilt onto the line, and bees were swarming the station and the factory. Hero and Ryan followed, and the two of them gasped as they stopped at the mess. "Let me turn round and see what we're dealing with," said Belle, as she rolled down to Kid Machete's turn around at the turntable. She rolled up and stopped. "It doesn't look that good," said Belle. "Whoa, look out." "My word," said Hero. "This is worse than I've ever seen it before. There has to be a way we can solve this." Edward was stuck at Ellsbridge Station. The gates wouldn't open and his passengers were starting to become nervous because of the bees. Miss Jenny had been called with urgent warning to get to the honey factory. She raced in and applied her brake and stopped Madge. She didn't get out though. She stared through the window. "What's going on?" "Oh," groaned George. "The beekeeper decided to try and move the honey factory and knocked over some of the cans of honey. He angered the bees and they all started swarming." "Oh, great," said Madge. "What are we going to do?" said Madge. "Oh, I don't know," said George, as he gave a big cloud of steam, which blew into the air. The bees slowly started to slow down. "What's going on?" said George. "All the bees are going to sleep. They come with steam," said Hero. "It happened back in Japan. We used to have to blow big clouds of steam when we drove under the cherry blossom trees. The bees used to love them trees." "That's it," said Ryan. If we all blow steam, we can calm down the bees." "Be a great idea," said Belle, "although where are we meant to get more steam from the roads for?" "I think I have an idea," said Hero, and he quickly whispered it to Ryan. Before long, Ryan had shot away to go and get the person he was talking to, and before long, Ryan arrived back. "So," said Belle, "how did it go?" Well, smiled Ryan, as over the crossing came Trevor as he pulled in next to the honey factory. "All right," said Miss Jenny. "On my count. Weesh Steve." Trevor and George did the biggest puff of steam they'd ever done as it filled the air. "Now," said Belle, "we need to get out of here to not disturb the bees. Madge, Miss Jenny, can you try and fix the gates?" Because of the bees being calmed, Miss Jenny was able to climb out of Madge and quickly fix the crossing gates. "Just there you go," she said, as she stepped down to let Edward leave. Luckily, none of Edward's passengers were hurt, but the beekeeper was badly stung. "I'll get you down to the hospital right away," said Belle. "Hop aboard." So he climbed aboard Belle, and Belle reversed down, taking him to Ulfstead Hospital. Ryan and Hero left down to Knapford Station, as they were both quite tired. Marge drove away, along with Trevor, leaving George all alone at the honey factory. Later that day, Hero, Ryan, Trevor and Marge all arrived back at Knapford Station, where Sir Topham Hatt was waiting for them. "I am very impressed with all of you," said the Fat Controller. "Your hard work and diligence has really paid off. And because of this, I am giving you both a new coat of paint," said the Fat Controller. Thank you, sir." Sir," said Ryan, "what are you going to do about the beekeeper? He can't be trusted to work there again, can he?" "Precisely. So, for the meantime, Ryan, I'm leaving you in charge." "Why don't you put the vicar?" said Trevor. "He could help out. He didn't have a job at the mill anymore because it closed down. He'd love to work at the honey factory." "That's a brilliant idea. I'll call him up and see straight away," said the Fat Controller. As he walked to his office, Miss Jenny stepped out of Marge and walked over to the engines. "I'm very impressed with both of you. You worked smartly and carefully and didn't act ridiculous." "You should both be very proud of yourself," said Miss Jenny. "Oh, and Ryan, the honey factory will be fixed in the next few days, don't worry. For now, you can go and work at the chocolate factory." Ryan chuckled. "I think I'll stick to honey," he laughed as he rolled away. "Wow, it's unbelievable," chuckled Hero as he left the station to go for a wash down.